will find that it is you who are mistaken about a great many things.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And there is a rumour that the Emperor may be returning. Ian McDiarmid confirmed that he's willing to take on the role, his iconic role, one more time. Whether this is in Andor, or in Obi-Wan, or in Ahsoka, or whatever project it will be in, is yet unclear. But I, for one, would welcome the return of the Emperor. And of course, it would have to be, well, it couldn't be too early, because obviously it's been a long time since he played an early Emperor. And McDiarmid himself has aged. But I think it would be excellent. Anyway, I'll pop myself in the corner. We'll have a look at this article. It's in Screen Rant. It's very exciting. Anyway, here we go. So here's the article. As I say, it's from Screen Rant. And the headline, the Star Wars actor hints Palpatine may appear in Obi-Wan Kenobi or Andor. Star Wars actor Ian McDiarmid hints that he may be making his return as Emperor Palpatine in either of the two shows. The actor made his first appearance as Sheev Palpatine in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. That's not true, is it? He made his first appearance as Palpatine in Return of the Jedi. He didn't appear at all in Phantom Menace. Sorry, in A New Hope. He wasn't played by Ian McDiarmid in the original Empire Strikes Back. And he only first appeared in Return of the Jedi. Subsequently, they went back and edited it, I know. But his first actual appearance was Return of the Jedi. And if they are claiming to know anything about Star Wars, they've just made a major boo-boo. Anyway, he most recently made his famed return in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which was a bucket of utter dross. With the Emperor being the centre of influence over the Galactic Empire, the character has often come to mind in recent live-action Star Wars series that are set within the Empire's timeline. Yeah, but you can't keep shoehorning him into everything. It gets a bit silly then, otherwise, doesn't it? Both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor take place before the events of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. That's right, yeah, they take place in between, don't they? Between the end of Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Both in the same timeline. Which marks the height of the Empire's reign. Darth Vader, Hayden Christensen, will be making an appearance, something that has often been hinted by both Christensen and Obi-Wan Kenobi director Deborah Chow to be casting a shadow over Obi-Wan and his adventures through the galaxy. The timeline of Andor, however, may also provide for Vader's hand in things, which would give the dark side even more of an influence over Cassian Andor, Diego Luna's story, than previously assumed. Vader's appearance in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, makes his idea even more plausible. I loved Vader in Rogue One. That corridor scene at the end that just links straight into A New Hope. And what you saw, though, was chronologically a bit awkward. Because you had fast-fighting Vader down the corridor, then immediately go into New Hope, and it's just two old men holding slowly clashing swords. It was like, you could tell the difference, put it that way. And also, and very sadly, you're starting to notice James Earl Jones's voice as Vader. He was starting to become an old man's voice. Such a distinctive voice all these years. And it's just, you could tell he was an old man now. And I think that's sad. So if they're going to do it, they better get it recorded really quickly, Or find someone who can imitate James Earl Jones. And there's not many because he's such a distinctive voice. Anyway, returning to the piece. Now, McDiarmid has hinted at Palpatine joining in on the dark side's shadow over either Obi-Wan Kenobi or Andor, or possibly both. I mean, there's no reason why not if they're in the same time period. But you don't, like I say, you don't want to overuse him. The actor teased during his panel at the most recent edition of the Imperial Commissary Collectors Convention via Star Wars Newsnet that viewers will feel his presence in a series that takes place during a time when he was considered to be very active. Though he shared that he can't confirm whether or not it will be through a physical appearance, his influence will still make itself known. Considering both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor fit this description, it's hard to tell which one he's referring to, unless he's purposely hinting towards the answer being both series. See the full quote. And here is the full quote. There's a certain show coming soon, set around the time I may have been considered to be very active. Whether or not you will see my physical body, I cannot comment on, but you will certainly feel my presence. And that's the cue the old joke. I know what you got for Christmas. I felt your presence. With Palpatine being the Phantom Menace, his shadow has long since cast a heavy shadow over characters such as Obi-Wan and Cassian. It is not impossible for Palpatine to then appear in both shows, especially as Obi-Wan faces Vader again. And I think that'll probably be the one, simply because you're going to have a bit of Vader-heavy episode. Vader will undoubtedly talk to his boss, you know. So you will probably get a little bit of, the Emperor in there. And if it is just a small, you don't want to, like I say, you don't want to overload. If you're doing an Obi-Wan show, it's got to be predominantly Obi-Wan. If you start bringing in all these other people, they're going to dilute the show. So yeah, don't mind having the Emperor in it. Maybe a little Topper and Taylor, or one episode where the Vader heavy episode, he can do the appearance with that. But you've got to maintain it as an Obi-Wan show. It is not impossible for Palpatine to then appear in both of their shows, especially as Obi-Wan faces Vader again and Cassian works with the early rebellion to gather intelligence from the Empire. It is, however, a little more likely that Palpatine will fit into Obi-Wan's story as the Jedi gets hunted down by Vader and his Inquisitors, which I've just mentioned. Palpatine would no doubt like to keep tabs on any of the Jedi who aren't eliminated in Order 66, and the discovery of Obi-Wan would give the Emperor another foothold through which to continue manipulating his apprentice. Yeah, because of course at this point it would still be an early, if it's sort of pre, A New Hope, it's still early Vader. So he's still a young man as Vader. He's not the old wizened fellow with the mouth organ that we see at the end. The inclusion of Palpatine would be a great expansive effort for both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor to connect back to the films from which they originate. True. Each series is tackling a very undiscovered part of the Star Wars timeline, though a very beloved one by viewers. And sitting directly between the prequel Star Wars trilogy and the original Star Wars trilogy, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor each have a mission to bridge together two important eras of the galaxy in a way that will offer the perfect amount of prequel and original era nostalgia. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when the prequels came out, we all went, oh God, they're not as good as the originals. Oh, by God, are we so glad we've got the prequels, though. They are at least Star Wars. I mean, we knew what the story was going to be, the Vader story, anyway. And, weaker than they are than the original trilogy, they're still way, way, way better than the sequels. Palpatine's presence would surely aid both series in that effort, which makes McDiarmid's words even more exciting to hear. And yeah, I think generally, I'm going to suggest that 99% of all Star Wars fans will be excited, happy, pleased that the Emperor's coming back. So long as he's not overused, sprinkle lightly, and have him there in the background, minor character, but overseeing things. I think that would work very well. You can't make it about him. It's the Obi-Wan show, or it's the Andor show. It's not the Emperor's show. But yeah, that's good. Anyway, I'll round that off there. I'll come up and we'll finish this video. So with only, 4 weeks to go until Obi-Wan drops, we will know then whether or not we're likely to see the Emperor in the show. And as I say, it's more likely going to be Obi-Wan than Andor. It could be both. But personally, I'm looking forward to it. I've put reservations about Obi-Wan, about it possibly being a bit of a bait and switch, and maybe not as much Obi-Wan in the Obi-Wan show as we would like. We know we're getting the Vader heavy episode, which is where I think the Emperor will probably fit in best. But as long as we get a predominantly Obi-Wan show, it should be okay. There's a lot of naysayers about it. There's a lot of people really concerned that it'll be more about another character, not Ewan. But we shall wait and see. Like I say, it's 4 weeks to go. We can all stay strong and last and wait and see. Of course, it's coming out on the same day as Stranger Things, and I'll be watching Stranger Things first. I've got to be honest. But, we look forward with hope in our hearts, if nothing else. Anyway, we'll round off there. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. ring the bell for notifications of future output, leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.